Hey guys, Bjemson Darius, aka BJ here from Dear Dad Podcast. Now, when I started this podcast, I wanted a platform where I can record and upload my content very easily. I didn't want to go through any hoops to get my podcast out there. When I did start my podcast, I was on a different platform. But after I was introduced to Anchor not once, not twice, but over 3 times by my close friends, I decided to give Anchor a try. I must say, I absolutely love it. Not only is it easy to use, but I am able to record, edit, post, and publish all my episodes right there on the app or the site. I was able to transfer all my episodes onto Anchor in less than 5 minutes. That, for me, was unbelievable. Oh yeah, here's the best thing of all. It's free. It is free to use. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, but take my word on this. It's true. Using Anchor has definitely made podcasts so easy. Trust me, you'll love it. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to the Dear Dad Podcast, a platform where you can come and express yourself, whether through poetry, spoken words, essay, or simply a live conversation. This is all dad talk. I'm here for you. Let's go. Hello, you beautiful people. Thank you again for joining me at the Dear Dad Podcast. My name is Bjemson Darius, aka BJ. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Dear Dad Podcast. And today I have a special guest. It's my younger brother. And I also just plenty of time, and I have younger brothers since I'm the second oldest. But this is definitely my youngest brother. One of my youngest brother, I can say, is Edwin. I just want to say I'm just so humble and happy that he able to join me and able to tell me and us his story. And I'm so glad that he took this offer for me to just tell his story. So I'm not going to hold you any longer. I'm going to introduce you to my little brother, Edwin.
Hello. What's going on, BJ?
I'm doing good. So let's just jump off to the first question, and I'm just going to throw it out. So tell me about Edwin. Who is Edwin?
Edwin is a guy that's just trying to find, how life truly is, how life wants to be in everybody's eyes. But, as young as I am, of course, I'm just really just looking how I can live my life and be happy.
Nice. That's awesome. I like that. I like that introduction. So I want to move forward to the next question. And this is more towards Dad. I just want to ask you, tell me about Dad. What is the memories that you have of Dad?
Oh, snap. Oh, man, the big guy. Yeah, there's been lovely memories I've had of that man. It's being around you guys, being around the cousins, our families, the barbecues, the family traditional parties and occasions. Just was always something. I always wanted to be around and wanted to be next to. But of course, it was some reason hard. I don't know why. Well, I do have a memory of when we went to Boston, when all of us took that trip not to Boston. Was it Boston? To go see one of our uncles. And we went over there, the whole road trip, I could just remember all of us just falling asleep, waking up, eating McDonald's, making jokes, farting, laughing, just funny, this happy family time. The journey was amazing. And I could just remember how happy he looked and he seen how much we were connected. I do remember just one time this one night, I guess it wasn't too of a, you could say, connection between my mom and him. I guess I wanted to see him, but they were in some type of argument or confrontation where it became to the point where she didn't want me to see him anymore. And she was telling me that I couldn't see him. And once he came to the door to see me, because I kept calling and telling him that I want to see him, it got to the point where she would like literally, stop me by, hitting me and telling me, no, you can't see him. while he's standing at the door, and I can see his boots under the door, like, because there's a little space under the door where you can see. And every time I'll try to grab the doorknob, she wouldn't let me. But there were good times. There were good times also. A few times, I went to his house when he was living in I think somewhere in upstate New York, and I just remember chilling with him. It's me and Pops, and then you take us out, we go to eat, and I would always want to see you guys. So every time I would be by him, I would be like, "Hey, Dad, how's BJ? How's Emmanuel? How's Barbara, Gael, Peggy?"
So it seems like you have some really good fond memories of Dad, which is kind of, I'm not saying it's different. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different. That I know with me, it's just having memories of him. I think the first memory I've had of him was when I was in Haiti, when I was my mother cooked some food for him, and then he came and ate. But before he ate, I actually came and I ate some of his food, and he found out. He gave me a whooping, and that's one of the first memories I have of Dad. Whenever I just say memories of my dad, that's the first thing I remember is me getting beaten because I was being stupid. But I find it fascinating that you don't have any, I wouldn't say bad memories, but most of the time that I've spoken to you and I talked to you about Dad, you have some really good memories, which is really, really good. And you had a really good relationship with him, which is a different perspective. Again, I'm not saying he was a bad person, but he seemed like he was really there for you for a lot of the time.
Yes, definitely. I always felt like he was taking care of what he had to take care of. Times I couldn't see him, and there'll be times I'll cry my eyes out to my mom, and I want to see my father. Eventually, she'll just budge and call him and tell him that your son want to see you. There's a few times where he came and sat down with me and had a full-fledged conversation about why I shouldn't get earrings. There was a few times where he was able to give me that, say, father talk, right. Which I realized, for a while I did not know or even realize until I got way older that you guys, were treated in such a way that you guys didn't appreciate. And I was baffled by it because it didn't make no sense to me, because what I seen wasn't what you guys, experienced.
That's so crazy that he was there for you. From your perspective, he was there for you to the degree that you wanted. I'm pretty sure because of the situation between your mom and my dad, that it wasn't the best, and I know it didn't work out. And he wanted to see you, and that's a change. That's a different from what I've heard before from my siblings and from myself, that he wanted to see you, that he made the effort to come to see you. And hearing that, it kind of set me back to trying to figure out what made him want to see you. I'm not asking you a question for you to answer. It's just me questioning myself, like what made him want to see you and not want to see us. Because around the time that you were born, my younger sister was born too. So it was just like, he didn't really have a relationship with my younger sister Barbara. So the fact that he wanted to be there with you and wanted to talk to you and be there for you was kind of like, again, it's different. It's a different perspective of this story. It's a different chapter that I'm experiencing. And the fact that you experienced that, I'm not gonna say jealous. I'm actually envious of that. It's kind of like curious. I was like, wow, okay, that's different. None of my siblings that I've spoken to ever experienced that kind of experience that you said. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of refreshing for me.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it is.
How has the presence or the lack of presence of Dad made an impact on you?
Oh man, uh, I don't. Maybe I really can't seem to point out exactly how he affected me because I never looked at it as him not being there.
Mm.
When I do think about how long I haven't seen him and how long I haven't talked to him, certain things where, because, that man is tough as nails, you can't really get through to that man unless you're a close person to him, to his heart. And, I can't really, the way life went for me, it's like either I make the right choice or I make the wrong choice. I'm pretty sure everybody realizes that eventually. But for me, it's like, because I'm so open-minded and sort of a realist / opportunist, some people wouldn't say. But the way I look at things is just very different from other people, I realized. And I felt like he was there, and the only time he wasn't there, I felt like he wasn't.
And you said him not being there at the time that you wanted him to be there, or even wanted to see him. It didn't really make an impact on you, because from what you said before, that you have a positive outlook towards things, and I can agree with that.
Yeah.
You're a very positive person, and I like that about you. You see the good before you see the bad, which is not everybody has that characteristics. So I'm definitely applaud you with that. So it's kind of cool that you put it in the perspective of that he was there when he needed to be there, or he could be there. But even when he was not there, you was not blaming him for anything. You didn't feel like you were lacking of his attention. You didn't feel like you were lacking of his love. You just feel like, well, he wasn't there because he wasn't able to be there.
Yes, basically.
Okay. So I know you told me before. What are some great memories that you have of Dad?
I actually remember this one time everybody went to the beach. The whole family went to the beach and was having fun. Well, it wasn't really a beach. It was like a lake. Yeah, we all went there, and it was amazing. I had such a great time. It was something that I always loved to do with the Darius family. Something I always love to see when I'm with you guys, cousins, uncles. They're all siblings. And it's just, there was a few times. I guess there wasn't many, but there were a few. I wish there were many. The way circumstances was for him, he couldn't really do it every single time, or every time I wanted to go on a field trip or some shit, he couldn't do it.
You said there were some times that you wish there were more of, I guess, more family time with us.
Yeah.
More family time with the siblings and the cousins.
Yes.
Why do you feel like it was a need for you? Why do you feel like you were seeking that?
Because I always felt like I was not in with you guys. To be honest, it was. I always felt like you guys are over there and I'm over here.
Mm.
I know at first I looked at that, something bad and wrong, but the older I got, the more I realized that's just how our lives were put together. Then fate. And the way I felt about it wasn't, something that made me feel bitter or have any malintent against anyone, random or close. But I did feel like I was, out of the circle per se. I wasn't in the family circle. Even though I would go to barbecues and, see you guys whenever he has time to bring me out there. But that's basically what it was. That, I realized a few times how far you guys are. At the same time, it took so long for me to finally take my own body over there and take public transportation and learn how to, travel to find a way to, be with you guys when I want to. But, there was a few good times with Pops. A few good times. Weren't too vivid, but I can remember a time where we went over to my cousin's house, my cousin Evan's house, and we went over there, and I haven't seen them in so long. Cousin Carl, my uncle Esteve, all I remember is just sleeping over, and I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm looking for my pops. It's so dark, everybody's sleeping, but I'm looking for him. I probably was, I don't know, under 10 years old. Definitely under 9 or 10 years old. And I could just remember, looking for him. I couldn't find him. And then I started crying, of course, and walking around crying. And eventually, he found me. I woke everybody up, of course. That was actually a time I remember. For some reason, I just thought he disappeared. I don't even know why, but that's exactly what my mind woke up with, was that thinking that he's gone.
Has that always been a fear of yours, that he's just going to up and disappear or gone without communicating with you, without talking to you? Has that been a fear of yours? Or
yes, when I was younger, yes, that was a big fear of mine.
You see, when you were younger, I know of early age, I know you said that you felt like you were the outcast. You felt that you didn't have the playtime, or you didn't have the time with us that you needed, and so therefore you always wanted to find some time to spend with us, or you didn't feel like you also wanted to, or you felt like you didn't fit in that time, and I felt that from you, but I also try to put it in myself to help you not feel that way. That's why whenever, I don't know if you remember, or if you even feel that way, whenever you're around and I'm around you, I try to make you feel as happy as I can, because I know that you're by yourself, and I know that you're not with us. I mean, I know with my siblings and my immediate siblings, with P, Emmanuel, Barbara, Martine, and Gael, we have each other. That's the honest truth. Even though we had a tight knit spot, but we had each other. And it always hurt me whenever you're around, even when you're not around, because I know you didn't have us there. We had each other, but you didn't have anybody. That's how I was thinking. So whenever you were around me, I know particularly for me, I always trying to make you feel welcome. I always trying to make you feel loved, that you wasn't lacking in the love. But I don't know. I don't know how much of a good job that I was doing. I just know that even still today, whenever I see you, I'm very sympathetic towards you. I'm always just like open arms whenever you want to talk, whenever you want to say anything. I'm always there for you, because I don't want you to feel like you're neglected. I don't want you to feel like you were left behind by yourself to fend for yourself, because I didn't want you to experience that. So every time that I'm around you, I always want you to feel love, at least from me. I don't know how my other siblings are like, because I didn't want you to feel that lack from any one of us.
I appreciated that. That was something I always did feel when I came around everybody. That's exactly. I felt I felt the love, It's just at that time when I was younger, when you feel that you can't, when you want to be around at the time that you can't, it it makes you feel lonely, But at the same time, not jealous, but just curious, very curious. What is going on over there? Like when I do, for example, if I when he does, like if when Pops would come pick me up and be like, yeah, how you been? And we'll have our talks, and I barely say anything because I barely have anything to talk about with him for some reason. I can never find the words to talk to him. And because I always had so much utmost respect for him. Even though times he wasn't there, times he was, I had utmost respect for him. There was one day he couldn't take me over to you guys. I don't remember the reason why. But I got mad, started crying. Why we can't? And, he explained that, just basically said he can't do it, and never, of course, for some reason I never found out what he meant by it, or what was the real reason, but I didn't when things like that happened, I wasn't, because I didn't see him that much, I wasn't letting, when we had bad moments with each other, affect how I look at him. It was more of like, okay, no problem. Next time I see you, we'll make a better memory. That's all.
That's super cool, man. That's super cool. I mean, for you to feel that way, it's very, very admirable. That's very mature of you, for you to not hold any remorse, not hold any anger towards him because he wasn't there. Like, you focus on the positive a lot instead of the negative, which is amazingly. That's a really good skill to have. And again, not everybody has that. And it's so cool that you were able to focus on the positive of him, the positive when you see him, instead of focusing on, well, you didn't do this. He was like, well, you're here now. How can we make good memories of it now, instead of focusing on the bad? Very, very awesome. So there was a lot of stuff that I know I do, and I noticed that Peggy does and Gamanua does. Even some little stuff that Gamanua does and him and I does is just kind of like, it's so weird. Like I live upstate New York and he lives in the city. And the funny thing is, there were some times that I would get dressed and I would tell my wife, and I was like, I think Gamanua was wearing the same outfit. And we mentioned that in the Gamanua podcast, that it's so weird that we have that connection, that either we wear the same color clothes or we have the opposite. So if I'm wearing red on top, he wears red on the bottom. So it's reversed. So this is a characteristic in us that we just share, that we don't even know. With Peggy and Emmanuel now, even my son right now, there are some ways that we cross our legs. There's certain ways that we scratch our heads. That's the same spot all the time. And it's so weird because my dad does it too. And especially when we ask him for something, or we offer us something, whatever it is, there's sometimes he does the same gestures as he does. And we do it as well. And I'm also, again, seeing it in my son Elias. I wanted to ask you, what are some characteristics in you that you find in Dad?
If they are, I haven't found out yet. I don't know why, but I've because actually, for some reason, the older I got, it wasn't like I was seeing him less, but it became, you could say, a pattern, but not a pattern that was, noticeable. But at the same time, I always tried to, when I was in school or after I got into a fight or after I finished, after a girl finished breaking up with me, or me trying to think, well, before I'm trying to break up with a girl, I tried. My mind goes to that level and tries to find out. I have something that I would notice of my father, and I have never noticed anything.
Even still today, that's something that you're fighting with. You figure out what kind of characteristics of him that you find in yourself. It's a battle that you're still trying to figure out. Have you ever tried to talk to him and figure out what are the things that you guys are similar to? Because I mean, it's hard to not notice. I mean, from the way we talk, I mean, our voice sounds similar. From the way we walk, the actions that we take in life.
I would say, appearance-wise, as in, jeans, his stubby toes and broad, flat fingers, big hands. Those are the things I realize, of course, the traits I've gotten from my father. But as in acting like him or doing something that he does, I feel like I haven't been around him that much enough to notice, to compare between me and him.
Yeah, that's definitely hard for you to figure out, especially if you're not around him to see those things. I'm able to see these things is that, one, again, I have relatives. I mean, I have immediate brothers and sisters close to me, so I'm able to see that they do and I do it too. It's hard for you, like you said, to see those things, those characteristics, if you're not around us and if you're not around Dad long enough for you to notice these things. And also, those are the kind of stuff that you have to pay attention to. Is that something that you're trying to seek out and see if you can, I don't know, find those things out?
I guess that's why I was so eager to always be around you guys to, get that comfortability when I was younger. But the older I got, like I said, memories became very vague, and it would just pop up randomly, like I just, like if somebody just paid a ticket to go anywhere on a random day, to just go anywhere, just random memories would just pop up from when I was younger or when I was around my teens. It wasn't many after, I would say, 18 years old.
Wow, that's fine. That's interesting. And I mean, I apologize. I myself, whatever I can do to help with that is I do whatever I can to help you out with that, to help you find that answer. Whatever I can do in my power, I would definitely do. Being in a relationship and dating and doing and going and having dates and stuff like that. When you were, and still right now, when you are dating and finding your interest in women, how has dating impacted your life? Did you find
I,
yourself searching for something while you were dating? Case point, when I was dating someone before I got married, I always found myself to be immersed in their presence. Whatever they go, whatever they do, I always wanted to be with them. I wanted to be in their presence. So it was hard for me to just like part from them. And I always wanted to figure out the reason why. And I know from what I got older, it was because the lack of discipline that I had when I was younger, especially a father discipline, that I didn't have discipline. So I always found the need to just like go elsewhere to just like belong, to find the need to be wanted by someone. So dating was always it wasn't a challenge. It was just that I threw myself too much in a relationship too fast, and I gave my all, and I ended up hurting myself at the end. So I wanted to ask you again, how has dating impacted your life?
well, I would say it affected me in a way. It has opened my eyes till this day. It's definitely made me realize that you really can't be into all and making yourself too vulnerable and letting someone know that you have the utmost respect and love for them, and they still find ways to make it, feel like you're questioning their trust, or you're threatening their morals, which wouldn't make sense anyways. But the way relationships treated me for these past few years of living, it's been a roller coaster, and I don't know right now. I don't know if I should even want to look for the one anymore, or just wait and find out a way to find the one that I'm looking for, just because of how my relationships keep going. And I'm always reading these horoscopes that tells you so many different things. A lot of people don't, but I'm one of those people that are very in tune when it comes to compatibility between different signs, zodiac signs. And when I do get into a serious relationship, I always do a little research on compatibility between me and the female sign. And usually, the overall percentage is, you would say between 60 and 89. And for some reason, once I find that out, it's like eventually the relationship does not work out. And I don't know if it's because the way I, carry myself and show how much I appreciate and care for someone. And sometimes there's moments I realize myself that they were taken advantage of. And after the relationship, I would realize that it would kill me, because I would be thinking to myself the whole time, I wasn't crazy, or I wasn't thinking too much, or degrading someone's, moral respect. I knew I wasn't. So when it came down to the truth and all the, everything was put on the table, I kept trying to find a love that I was missing. And I guess it's connected to our Father, because, like I said, even though I have good memories, and it was some bad memories, and he wasn't, there for times, and times he was there, it somehow most likely affected how I am and how much I look for in a relationship when it comes to another companion showing me how much they love me, because I know I'm doing utmost progress to showing her the same level of love, but I couldn't find out what was the problem. I couldn't think about or even fathom what would be, such a good, well, not even a good or bad, doesn't matter. I just want to know why it never work out. And to this day, I'm still trying to find out if it's me or the other person. It's killing me.
To tell you the truth, you are, as I'm listening to you talk, you and I are very, very similar. To the point that I'm not that I'm scared. It's just like I'm just wow that, because I went through those things that you went through. I definitely went through those period of time where I was given 110% to the person that I was with, that I was dating with, and the person was not giving me pretty much at all, or the amount they were giving me was nowhere near enough of what I was giving them. So I just felt like I felt like I was empty, because I was pouring so much into the person, and the person was not pouring too much into me. So it hurt me to find out that that you're going through that. You're doing this right now, and you're going through it, because again, that's why actually, like, is it impacting your dating life? Because I know it did for me, and I only know that because when I got older, I'm able to recognize and see those things, those patterns. And I didn't see it so much. You know what? Let me take it back. I saw it, and I see it a lot in all of our siblings. And it seems that whenever we're in a relationship, we immerse ourselves so much in that person that we lose ourselves. We do everything for that person. We do whatever we can for that person. But the end result is the person is never enough, or we're never enough for that person. So whatever we do, how much we do, it's never enough. So it just seems like, what else can I do to make you happy? What else can I do to make this relationship better? But it seems like whatever you do, it either makes it worse or it doesn't make any difference at all.
Yes, very true. And that's what boggles my mind the most, is that, and I'm actually trying and showing the love and respect, the caring and commitment. And it's either noticed but not respected, but respected but not noticed. It's weird.
And since you're walking in the same shoes that I have, so my advice to you towards that, and I don't know if anybody else that you've asked for advice or talk that situation to about, or just mention that situation. For me, and this is my experience, and I'm gonna shoot it out to you to see if you can try it out. So I was pretty much the same spot of what you were doing, or the same spot of what where you are right now, just seeking someone to love and love you back equally to the amount that you're giving out. And I came to a point of just like saying, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop giving. I'm just gonna focus on myself. And that's what I have to tell you as well. Stop trying to give yourself too much away to individuals, and start focusing on yourself. Better yourself. Get your career going. Get your job going. Get your life on the right path. And that person is gonna find you. So once you stop looking for other people, they're gonna start looking for you, or they're gonna come towards you. But you gotta focus on yourself first. You gotta love yourself first. You gotta love being around yourself, with yourself first, before somebody else can be with you. My thing was, I was loving more than the person was able to love me. So that's why I was saying I was giving too much. So when I learned that, it was not until I actually met my wife, and I was just like, okay, I need to take a scale back and just like focus on myself. So that's one thing I actually would advise you right now. I know you're still young, you're still in your prime, but to avoid you making the repeated mistake that I made, because I see the pattern that that you're going through, and I went through it, is this right now. Just take time for yourself. Don't worry about finding the one. The one will find you when it's time. Enjoy being with yourself. Enjoy going out and chilling, staying with your family, and being happy. Get your life together, and that person will find you. But if you're trying to put so much of yourself for everybody that you come across, you're not gonna have enough time for yourself. You're robbing yourself of that. And the last thing is, one of my friends told me that when I was pretty much done with like dating, all that stuff, I was just like, I need to find someone that is worthy of my love, because I have a lot of love to give, and so do you. You have a lot of love to give. You just want to. You're a natural giver, which is again, it's a gift. But you also need to find that person that's willing to appreciate your giving and your love as much as you're giving it out as well. So they're giving you as much as you giving them. And that's one thing you have to watch out for right now. That's something you gotta look for. That's something you gotta focus on. Focus on yourself. Right now, don't try to look for someone that's the one. Don't try to look for a person that is the person that you're gonna marry for the rest of your life. Just right now, in the moment, be happy with yourself. Find yourself and do whatever that you need to do to grow spiritually and emotionally before you can put somebody in. Because if you bring somebody else in again, you can't do the same mistake that you've been doing for the past relationship that you've been in.
Yes. Oh, I'll definitely take that advice to a commitment.
And I don't want you to make the same mistake as I did. And there's so many of it that I made, and I wish I could have told my siblings that came after me that I made this mistake, and I don't want you to make that mistake. And I know that you're in the same path that I am, and I can see that you have the same personality traits and the same characteristics that I have, as far as giving and loving and being more forgiving, being more of a lover than a fighter. All that stuff makes a difference, and I want to applaud you for that. But you can't give. Not everybody is deserving of your love. Not everybody's deserving of your attention. So you can't give that to everybody that you come across. They have to be willing to be able to deserve that. So just take your time whenever you date someone, just date to date, but don't rush into the relationship where you're expecting the person to be the one and only person. That will come in time. But before that, you have to know who you are and what you are and what you want in life before you can plug somebody else into your life. If not, they're just gonna suck every living soul out of you, and just like then you won't have anything left. You're just gonna feel like you're robbed and tired and fatigued because the person just took everything and didn't give you anything back. So just take your time when it comes to dating. Just like relax and just find who you are.
I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely try to do that.
So as you grow up and you become who you are right now, and again becoming a very fond, very really cool guy, and I don't know, I really appreciate who you have become and continue being, who you continue becoming. So as you are right now, dating and getting into a relationship, do you have a perspective of what kind of man do you want to be in life, and are you striving to become that person?
Wow, man, I want to be is it's very split into different leadership goals. As in, for example, I would love to be one of those guys that can lead people and show people that we should be respecting ourselves and eating more healthy, and showing how the way we're living right now and ingesting all these products and foods are not what's really what we're supposed to be intaking. But at the same time, when I think about being that type of person, is you get so many, I wouldn't say doubts, but judgments, because of the simple fact the way the circumstances are in this world today, in this society today. It's a challenge for everything, but at the same time, you can do anything that you want if you just, put your mind to it. And basically, what I'm saying is, I'm not doing that right now. I'm still trying to figure out what man I want to be in the future. I'm still trying to realize, if I want to be exactly what I'm always dreaming about and thinking about loving to do. And like, I really love animals. The animals are like the best thing that I can. If I'm working with animals, I'm not working. I'm doing something that I love. So basically, I'm not looking at it as something that I do not want to do, or eventually going to get tired of, knowing that I'm going to eventually get tired of not wanting to do anymore. Would I say I'm striving towards that? No, I'm not. Because the way life is going right now, for a guy like me, I would say it's topsy-turvy, and it's just me just trying to find something to settle down with, and someone that where I can feel the same type of feeling if I was working with animals. Not saying I'm not what I'm working towards, but I'm trying to find a platform where I can be comfortable at the same time. But of course, you have to, take the time out and go and look for it. You would think I have time, and for some reason, I don't find it. The time I find that's the time I get to relax, ease my body, and let my body relax and feel at ease from all the hard labor that I do almost every single day. But I don't feel like I have to be in a rush, even though some people say you should, just to get it out the way, or be successful early. Of course, that's a good thing, but the way I grew up, was being raised, it kind of made me look at things in a completely different way. Some people would say, you know, in a lazy way, but there's so many ways, especially nowadays, so many ways in this day and age where you can make however much of an income you want, as long as that's what you're striving towards, fighting towards, making the progress work. For me, it's like, hey, I got time, still young. How fast do I need to move? Well, you never know, right? Because, Lord knows, you never know when you're going to leave this earth. So you might want to just, find out what you want to do and get to it. But I'm not that kind of person that looks at life like that.
All right. So before I asked you about what kind of man you wanted to be and if you're working towards that right now. And is that something that you achieving? And you told me that you're working towards that. You're still young. You're still trying to figure things out in the same note. I know you're not a dad yet. I know you're not a parent yet, and you're not even married yet. Do you have a vision of what kind of dad you want to be?
Well, I do always get from different females that see me interact with their kid or interact with another kid. They always say, you're gonna be a great dad when you have a kid, because I really love interacting with kids and playing with them and giving them some type of affection. And I believe that I'm going to be a great father, because of the simple fact I know what not to do. I know what I would have to do and how, maybe not in certain situations now, but they do come up. I will learn and, progress to a great nature of a father. And that's definitely what I truly see is me being, there, every day for my kid. And I would hope, that's what I want to say. I would hope, that I find a companion that, is willing to work out whatever problems that comes ahead or towards us, and that's definitely something I look forward to before I do have a kid, is knowing who is, gonna be the mother of my child, and know that person completely, and knowing that that person trusts me and understand, the type of person I am, and how we can set forth from there.
Cool. In relation to you potentially being a dad, potentially being a father, is there a certain type of behaviors or certain things that you experience with dad that you want to implement in your son or your daughter when you have kids?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, he used to have this stare he does and just look at you. Most fathers do, but his was kind of serious when he did it. He didn't really put his hands on me. As a Haitian culture, whooping is a regular thing. Most cultures, of course. But yeah, it was rarely that there would be a reason for him to, discipline me. And I always, looked at it as a way to show your kid that when I'm serious, it's not the only time when I'm disciplined. I'm showing you when I'm serious, when I'm telling you something important, or I'm pointing something out that you did wrong. And if you understand it, he showed me, a way to go about it. And I took some of those, what you call it, gestures and actions that he does when, he's when he's, 'cause, that man is, our father's, a little impatient when it comes to the whining and the yelling and the overdoing of the crying. Man, I took all that and ran with it, as in if just, for future, for the future. That's definitely something I would use. That's a method I would use. Certain methods that he used to use with me, or I never seen him, discipline you guys. So it was the only time I experienced him disciplining was when he would do it with me. So basically, I would definitely do a lot of things that he used to do. Most of them, not all.
Yeah, most of them. I mean, with us too. My father wasn't a person that was, the typical Haitian culture where they got a whooping if they did anything, if the kid did anything. My father wasn't like that. I know he was very tender-hearted. He was a very kind person, so he didn't do it. And again, for me, I whenever the 2 times in my entire life that I ever got hit by my dad I was well deserved. I did whatever I did, I deserved to get a whipping. So he never literally hit me because he felt a certain way and it was irrational. So he was never that kind of person. He was cool-headed and level-headed when it comes to disciplining. I mean, even though sometimes he wasn't there, but I know as far as disciplining, he wasn't there. So that was definitely a way of whenever I'm, even with my son right now, whenever I discipline him, it's not more of a hitting and yelling. It's more of like, okay, I give you a certain look, like you said, or I just talk to you. I just need to tell you, okay, what you're doing is wrong. And I'm doing it because I want to benefit you. So you won't go ahead and go hurt yourself. And that's pretty much what it is. I'm not trying to tell you these things because I want you to be a bad father or I'm being annoying, but because I'm looking out for you. Because if I let you do this thing, you're gonna hurt yourself badly. So, again, like you said, that's something that you would incorporate, and I'm doing it myself too, as a father. So there's something it's definitely good, and I appreciate that. And I know you're gonna be a wonderful dad and a good dad, but take that time again to just like love yourself and appreciate yourself for who you are right now, and become a better man. And grow and become a better person before you can incorporate somebody in that circle. So I definitely encourage you to do that.
Yes, that's definitely something I'm working towards. Older I get.
All right. So again, we're about to pretty much wrapping up. I wanted to ask you if you were next to Dad right now. If he was next to you, I mean, he's still alive again. You wanted to tell him anything? What would you be?
I love you, Dad. Always did, always will. Never forget that.
Nice. Just short and sweet. I love it. I mean, does he know that? Have you ever told him that?
Oh, yes. Every time I get to. Every time I see him, I tell him I love you, man. Yeah, I love you too, man. I always, because, you could say I'm one of those kids that, don't reach out to his father as much as my other siblings does. It's not something I do intentionally. It's just I don't even do it with my own mother that I live with. So it's very weird.
So trust me, you're not the only person. I sat down with John and he pretty much said the same thing, and I'm still going through that with my mom and dad, and just like calling and talking to them. I mean, I know I want to, I have full intention to. It's just picking up the phone and doing it. Yeah. And I'm not a person to just sit down and have a long conversation on the phone with you, depending on the conversation, depending on what the topic is. But it's just picking up the phone and doing it. And I think that's a bad habit of mine. I think a couple of us does that, and you said you do it too. I know John said he does it too. So it's just picking up the phone and just doing it. That I am not doing. I say I'm not able to do it. It's just that I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't understand it. I don't like it, but for some reason I do it.
All right. So this last couple of questions I'm going to ask you is going to be About me. Well, this last question I have is going to be towards me. As an older brother, I just want to find out, was there anything that you wish I've done different that would help you out?
My brother, you are doing exactly what a brother is supposed to do, and I love it. And I don't want you to change anything. I would love for you to stay exactly how you are and who you are, because you are a lovely person that I love, just like all my brothers. They have beautiful hearts and beautiful souls, and that's something that I appreciate that I have, that you guys show me since we first met. It was all but love, and that's what I strive for.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to ask you that. So you're not a dad yet, but you've seen people that are dads. You have brothers, myself, that are dads, and you haven't been one yet. But I wanted to ask you, what kind of message do you want to have for the fathers out there, the dads out there? What kind of message you want to leave behind?
My message would be to fathers or that's having newborns or about to have a family: make sure you dedicate yourself to what you love. Make sure, you're ready to be able to take the courses that comes with having a family. Be happy.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Again, I just want to thank you again, first and foremost, for all that you have done, for being so vulnerable, for being open with me, and telling me and telling us your side of the story, your half and your experience. And I appreciate that you were able to share that with us. But I just want to thank you for all that you are, and I just want to applaud you for being the person that you are. Being on this podcast right now just showed me how much similar that we are. And even growing up at the time that we were growing up, and at this age, I didn't realize how close, and I didn't realize how much similarities that we have with one another. And I talked to you about Emmanuel as far as figures wise, physique wise, when we wear certain clothes, we are similar. But with you and I, our personalities are very, very similar. The way we go about things, the way we view life, the way we view other people is very, very similar. And I want to get to know you more besides this podcast, but in person, I want to get to know you more. I want to take action to just get to know who you are and the men that you will become and the men that you will be and start striving to become, because right now you are just an amazing person. I see you as a person that was a form of me, a person a person that I used to be, and a person that I grew and become to be better. And that's why I'm so I'm wanting to invest so much in you, because I see there's so much potential, because I went through those things and look where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm not doing the greatest, but I'm doing good as far as happiness. I'm happy in my relationship. I'm happy with being a dad. I'm happy with my marriage, and I want to push that for you as well. And I want to push that for all our siblings. But for you right now, I just wanted to say that I'm very proud of who you have become, the way you talk, your intellect, the way the choice of words that you decide to pick when you saying certain things. It makes a difference. A person that's willing to give their heart out selflessly is a talent. A person that decides to be happy instead of being mad is definitely a talent. A person that sees positive in someone instead of negative is always a positive thing. It's always a good thing, and it's a good characteristics that to have, and you have all those characteristics, and I see a lot of me in you. So I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I have. So I want to plug in you the good that I have, so you won't have to make that same mistake. And I'm telling you, there is someone out there that's willing to love you and care for you and love you the way you need to. But you got to take care of yourself first. You have become a great man, and you will become even a greater man. But take the time for yourself to be that loving person towards yourself first. And I encourage each and every one of you guys, as you heard Edwin said before, make time for your kids. Just love them and be prepared to be a parent. If you're not in the phase of mind to be a parent, if you're not in the mind frame to be a dad, take precautionary measures. Don't just go willingly and just do whatever it is you need to do. If it comes out, it comes out. Whatever happens, it happens. No, be intentional with being a dad. It matters. Your presence matters when you are in a child's life. My father's presence mattered when his presence mattered when he's in my life. It matters now, and he will always matter. So I want to thank you, Edwin, for all that you've done, for who you are, and for being such a positive person. That characteristic in you that not much people have. And I just want to thank you for being such an amazing brother, a cool guy, a loving guy, and such being a caring person for other people. And I want to encourage you to continue doing that, guys. So as we wrap up, I just want to say again, thank you, Edwin, for the time that you've given me, for allowing us to hear your story, for allowing us to hear your vulnerability and your story, your life, your experiences. And I want to encourage everyone again to continue doing that. Be more positive, be more of a humble person and kind person towards everybody else, Lord, guys. So I want to thank you again for joining us. And I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. So I will catch you later. Bye. And now, a little moment with Elias.
Out of here. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good. For mommy, daddy, yes,
And what? And what?
and what?
And family.
A family.
Amen.
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 Amen. Praise the Lord.
Okay, guys, if you want to keep up or listen to more of this podcast, you can go to Google Play, Stitcher, Apple, and Spotify. And, of course, on social media as far as Instagram. Catch you later.